Chapter 10: Crossing the Flowing Sands River. Friar Sand joins the quest. Having traversed the treacherous Yellow Wind Ridge, the small band of pilgrims found themselves at the mercy of a formidable barrier, the Flowing Sands River. Upon reaching the river, the disciples are confronted by a sight that curdles the blood. A river so vast and so violent that no vessel dares to cross it. It is Monkey who first assesses the situation, his gaze sweeping over the river's expanse with a sense of dread. He informs the Tang priest of the river's breadth, a distance that seems insurmountable for a mortal. As the disciples stood by the river, pondering their predicament, they noticed a stone tablet inscribed with the ancient curly script, declaring the river to be the Flowing Sands. The words "Flowing Sands River" are carved deep into the stone, and beneath it, a verse that chillingly describes the river's perils. 300 miles of flowing sands, 3,000 fathoms of weak water, on which a goose feather will not float and the flower of a reed will sink. The verse serves as a stark reminder of the river's unforgiving nature. Their musings were interrupted by a roar that shook the very air, as an abhorrent evil spirit emerged from the river's depths. The creature, with matted hair as red as fire and eyes that gleamed like lamps, was a fearsome sight indeed. Clad in a cloak of yellow goose down and adorned with 9 skulls around his neck, he wielded an enormous staff, his very presence a tempest of malevolence. The Tang priest's heart sank at the sight of the monster, but his disciples were not cowed. Pig, with his rake at the ready, and Wukong, with his trusty cudgel, prepared to face the beast. The battle that ensued was a clash of titanic proportions, a spectacle of might and magic upon the banks of the Flowing Sands River. Pig and the monster, both formidable warriors, fought with a ferocity that matched each other blow for blow. The 9-pronged rake and the ogre-quelling staff danced in a deadly ballet, each combatant displaying prowess that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The battle raged for 20 rounds, neither fighter emerging as the victor. Wukong, observing the fight, was seized with a fury that could no longer be contained. He leaped into the fray, cudgel in hand, only to find the monster, startled by the Monkey King's Jiru, plunge back into the river's depths. Pig was left fuming, berating Wukong for his impatience, for the monster had been tiring, and victory seemed within reach. The disciples, now united once more, returned to Sanzang, who expressed his concern over the failure to capture the ogre. Wukong, ever the strategist, proposed a plan to lure the monster from the water and finish him off. Pig, stripped of his brocade tunic and shoes, ventured back into the river to engage the ogre in combat, feigning defeat to draw him out. The ogre, recovering from their earlier encounter, was quick to take the bait. As Pig waded through the waves, the monster challenged him, revealing his own storied past. Once a revered general who lifts the curtain, he had been banished to the Flowing Sands River for a transgression in heaven. His tale was one of glory and fall, a cautionary tale of power and pride. The battle resumed with even greater intensity, the two warriors locked in a struggle that shook the very foundations of the earth. For 4 hours they fought, the outcome still undecided. It was a battle that seemed as eternal as the stars themselves, a clash of wills that would leave a lasting scar upon the river's banks. As the fight raged on, Wukong and Pig devised a new strategy. Pig would lure the ogre to the river's edge, where Wukong would cut him off from retreat. But the monster, wary of the Monkey King's tricks, refused to be drawn onto the bank. Instead, he dove deep into the river, leaving the disciples once more at a loss. With the situation seemingly hopeless, Wukong decided to seek the aid of the Bodhisattva Guanyin. In her abode by the southern sea, Guanyin revealed the true nature of the ogre. The creature was none other than the mortal incarnation of the great curtain-lifting general, a believer converted by Guanyin herself to protect the pilgrims on their journey. Armed with this knowledge and a red bottle gourd from Guanyin, Wukong and his fellow disciple, Huiyan, returned to the flowing sands river. Huiyan, now revealed as Moxa the novice, called out to the ogre using his Buddhist name, Wujing, awakening him to his true purpose. The ogre, now Friar Sand, emerged from the river, his fears allayed. He bowed to Moxa and learned of his new duty, to serve the Tang priest and aid in the journey to the west. With a heart full of remorse for his past actions, Friar Sand accepted his new role and, under the guidance of Moxa, transformed his 9 skulls and the gourd into a dharma boat, a vessel to ferry Sanzang across the flowing sands river. As Sanzang sat upon the dharma boat, stable and secure, he was guided across the river by Pig and Friar Sand, with Wukong leading the dragon horse from above. Moxa watched over them, ensuring a safe passage. Upon reaching the other side, Sanzang stepped onto dry land. Untouched by the river's waters, his journey continued unhindered. With gratitude, Sanzang bowed to Moxa and worshipped the Bodhisattva before Moxa returned to the Eastern Ocean and the pilgrims resumed their westward journey. The flowing sands river, once a seemingly insurmountable obstacle, was now but a memory, a testament to the power of faith and the strength of unity. The journey leads them through a landscape painted with the hues of autumn, red maples, yellow chrysanthemums, and the melancholic songs of cicadas and crickets. As the days pass, the companions find themselves in a world of bounty and beauty, yet also of trials and temptations. One evening, as the sun dips below the horizon, the travelers seek shelter for the night. It is then that they come upon a grand estate, nestled in the embrace of a bamboo grove. The house, with its cypress gates and pine eaves, exudes an air of tranquility and wealth. The owner of the house, a widow named Jia, greets them with an unusual proposition. She offers her and her 3 daughters' hands in marriage to the pilgrims, suggesting they abandon their quest and settle down to a life of comfort and affluence. Sanzang, steadfast in his devotion to his mission, remains silent, while Monkey, ever the clever and mischievous disciple, feigns interest but does not commit. Friar Sand, true to his Buddhist vows, declines the offer, expressing his determination to see the journey through to the end. Pig, however, is tantalized by the prospect of wealth and the beauty of the daughters. Despite the warnings of his companions, he entertains the idea of staying behind, his resolve wavering in the face of temptation. The widow, persistent in her proposal, focuses her efforts on Pig, who eventually agrees to the match. She leads him away, promising a wedding and a life of ease, leaving the others to ponder the consequences of his decision. As the night unfolds, Monkey, ever suspicious, follows Pig and discovers the truth behind the illusion. The house and the family are but a ruse orchestrated by divine beings to test the pilgrim's resolve. The next morning, Sanzang, Monkey, and Friar Sand awaken to find themselves not in the luxurious quarters they remember, but in a simple grove of pine and cypress trees. A note hanging from a tree reveals the truth. The widow and her daughters were manifestations of the Bodhisattva Guanyin and other deities, sent to test their commitment to the journey. Pig, having failed this test, is left tied up and humiliated in the grove, a lesson learned in the dangers of succumbing to worldly desires. Despite his embarrassment and the physical pain from his ordeal, Pig is untied by Friar Sand, and the group continues on their way. The incident serves as a stark reminder of the importance of maintaining their spiritual focus and the perils of straying from their path. They understand that the journey to enlightenment is fraught with trials and temptations, but it is through their perseverance and adherence to their vows that they will ultimately succeed. As they resume their journey, The pilgrims reflect on their experience and reaffirm their dedication to their quest. They understand that the path to the scriptures is not an easy one, and that they must rely on their faith and each other to overcome the challenges that lie ahead. With renewed determination, they press on, their eyes set on the ultimate goal of obtaining the sacred texts and bringing them back to the East. If you want to know what happened afterwards, listen to the explanation in the next installment.